name is Miles Rather.
I'm Candace Howard.
I'm Aaron LeBlanc.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dylan Poole.
And we did Why is Food Sustainability a Problem on the Reservation? Some of my definitions are flora. Those are plants of a particular region or period listed by species and considered as a whole. Fauna, the animals of a given region or period considered as a whole. Reservation, a tract of public land set apart for a special purpose as for the use of Indian tribe. Economic value pertaining to the production, distribution, and use of income, wealth, and commodities. And a pesticide, a chemical preparation for destroying plant, fungal, and animal pests.
Three definitions that I had were self-sustainability in food. So self, person's nature or character. Sustainability, the ability to be sustained, supported, upheld, or confirmed. Food, any nourishing substance that is eaten, drunk, or otherwise taken into the body to sustain life, provide energy, promote growth, etc.
And the one definition that I had was food insecurity, the state of either having limited or uncertain access to food that is nutritionally adequate, culturally acceptable, and safe, or having an uncertain ability to acquire acceptable foods in socially acceptable ways.
I think that almost a definition I pretty much covered.
Okay, I'll go first. My article by David Lewis, Native Americans and the Environment, a survey of 20th century issues, talks about how we Native Americans before colonization and boarding schools were very connected to the earth spiritually and physically. According to David Lewis, the culture and environments changed dramatically after Euro-American contact by pathogens, diseases, and new livestock. Before Columbus came, there were no cows, pigs, sheep, or large other domesticated animals. Many native flora and fauna were lost. Like bison and eagles are going extinct, which are very sacred to us. The lands were forced to move to these reservations where lands were unwanted or in remote environments of little economic value, said Lewis. After the lands were not properly fertilized and prepared for farming, they were unsuccessful and the land was leased to non-natives for their advantage. Improper irrigation, watering of crops also played a factor in the soil on the land being unsuccessful for farming. As well, the soil was also contaminated with a lot of pesticides and herbicides that killed weeds and plants, contaminating water and poisoning people. A lot of the lands have also been used as dumping sites for hazardous materials and waste by the government and mining companies that have been the root of water and soil being unproductive. Some of these reservations were offered very little money for these land and waste spills that are not worth the damage they cause. Some reservations are considering these lands fills because they are offered money that could be worth millions. Some are offered less money or more money. Our way of life and health has been affected dramatically, and not only affected previous generations, but ours and the futures as well.
Good.
I can go next. Growing up, I never thought about where I would get my next meal or how nutritious it would be for me. The unfortunate reality on many reservations is that high food insecurity is reality and has detrimental effects on the youth. Most cheap food in this country is highly processed and has chemical additives to preserve it for longer. This is what causes much of the problems we see today. In my research into this topic, I came upon a paper entitled High Food Insecurity and Its Correlates Among Families Living on Rural American Indian Reservation. It goes on to explain the problem. and I quote, "Almost 40% of families reported experiencing food insecurity. Children from food insecure households were more likely to eat some less healthful types of foods, including items purchased at convenience stores. This shows just how prevalent this problem is. Oftentimes, these types of food are detrimental to kids, affecting everything from height, weight, even IQ. Food with low nutritional value is just easier to get a hold of on the reservation." To combat food insecurity on the reservation, there have been a couple of things set up, but there isn't really too much. Most of it talks about having a community garden or a family garden, something small that you can get fresh fruits and vegetables from.
Thank you.
My summary, I basically started out with a couple questions, like what are some ways to learn food sovereignty or food sustainability, and how we can promote eating healthy on reservations through food sustainability. I did a couple of research, a couple articles that I found interesting. One was written by research by Linda Cobb, who's a PhD in RD, and Laura Longstaff. Talk about like growing epidemics of poor nutrition and obesity and health issues related to poor nutrition. Education for American Indians and Alaskan Indians. They state how for the past 2 centuries natives have been removed and limited to hunting on their own lands and have limited access to traditional Native American foods. Most Native American tribes have been displaced. Hunting, gathering, and cultivation of native crops were almost impossible for Native American tribes at one point and had to rely on government commodities. At some point, the tribe slowly started learning how to cultivate their own crops and rely on their own foods to start feeding their families. I found another article called Food for Thought by Helen Yu, where she talks about a greenhouse high in the hills, Santa Fe, run by a gentleman named Luke Reeds, who helps Native Americans learn about food sustainability and how to grow their own food. He's teaching tribes in New Mexico how to grow trees and plant gardens and trying to promote food sovereignty so Native Americans could have access and control to their own high quality foods. They're also teaching about Native American plants such as nettles, peppermint, stuff like that treat colds and spider mites and stuff like that. They also state that there are many colleges in North Dakota that try to promote food sovereignty depending on where they are located. Tribal colleges try to promote food sovereignty by facilitating greenhouses that give students the opportunity to take what they learned and implement it into their own communities. Today, the USDA is also looking for ways to incorporate traditional foods into commodities and letting tribes choose what they want to receive. Those are pretty much the articles I decided to research because food sovereignty is one of the biggest issues today in North America. Traditional foods are slowly fading and less people know how to grow their own traditional food. If we can find a way to incorporate that back into our daily diets, then our traditions can and will stay alive, teaching our children and our generations to come the traditional foods are and used to be our way of life.
Thank you.
Some of the research I found on our topic, food and sustainability. According to Pinnis and Hafford, food access, security of food, and lack of health nutrition have long been recognized as particular challenges for Indians living on and off tribal lands. The Food Stamp Act of 1977, which gave the SNAP program its current form, developed a food distribution program in Indian country. Congress was very concerned about the distance people would need to travel because of many barriers Native Americans face. Retail stores are more accessible in today's life than back in the day, but access to grocery stores and retail markets are still challenging for Native Americans who try to use government benefits to this day. And another thing I found interesting was, according to Pindas, in a recent study, she revealed that food insecurity remains strongly in Indian country and that nutritional programs are a must on reservations. Many different programs are fighting to get proper nutrition to all ages on the reservation. Partnerships are operating at multiple different stages to support food supply and production, improve ways to vital foods, and improve diet plans. Food security means having enough food to lead a healthy lifestyle on how you choose. Food insecurity is when limited or uncertain availability of healthy food is available. The FDPIR serves Native Americans where there are bad health, food security issues, and healthy food nutrition assistance is strongly recommended. Usually lower income and the highest unemployment rates and poverty rates are on tribal lands. When you have so many problems going on in life, usually it takes away from being able to afford healthy food. I believe it's hard to be a very sustainable person in today's economy due to the prices of everything, as wages don't pay nearly enough to live comfortably. If you're not a hardworking citizen, good health is hard to get by, or get without having the funds for necessities. People need to make sure bills are paid before they feed themselves, because if not, they will be kicked onto the streets. It's a crazy world we live in, as everything costs so much, such as healthcare, food, rent, car payments. Everything adds up so fast, it's hard for people to stay afloat and maintain self-sustainability. As life continues, it's only going to get more challenging because people are going to be expecting so much more of everyone. And that was some of my research that I came up with.
Thank you. Okay, just listening, did you have a couple solutions that you want to share with us?
I have one solution that I came up with. I think us students should talk about the importance of our health and the history of why most Native health is what it is. I also think sustainable agriculture and food sovereignty in the general education program should be an option to take if it already is not in the list of class courses.
Good. Because you all had solutions in your information.
And promoting food sovereignty is one of them, especially in tribal colleges.
And they're fairly good here with Facebook, emails, posters. We hear of them. For Valentine's Day, they're having particular items to sell the sustainable egg students. So they're usually by month we hear from them for some event or something, because there's a club. And that really gets word out. But that's really, promotion is huge. And it's grassroots. It's got to start and then just build. Good. Awesome. All right. Any others?
Well, honestly, I think that education, at least at the youngest level that you can get, would be best. Because I remember, home economics class. And it didn't seem like it was much to me when I was going through high school, but now that I look back at it, there was a lot of really good things that I still take with me to this day that I learned from that class. So that would definitely be a good idea to promote that more on the reservation than anywhere else, I would think.
Just common sense items, budgeting, food costs,
Yep.
preparation, etc. Good. Any questions from the audience? You're all so quiet. They're so quiet. All right, you may conclude.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job.